All right. Good morning. Good afternoon, everyone tuning in. We are the Draft Day Preppers, a fantasy football podcast. You can find us every week with new episodes releasing on Tuesday mornings. I am your co-host, Evan Roosh, and joined with me today, we have Drew at Breadback17 on Twitter.
Made a couple tweets.
I saw you tweeted out like the graphic for this.
I'll get better at them.
That's all right. We need you being a tweeting machine. That's for sure. But we covered just week one matchups earlier this week. So we're not going to dive too much into that. But today we're just going to go into last minute news and notes and then just give you some start sits. Then we'll also go over some daily fantasy league plays, which if you're not familiar, that typically refers to FanDuel, DraftKings, and different apps like that. So, but first off, Drew, what are your initial reactions from the Bills-Rams game? Because that was honestly insane to watch just how good the Bills are. I mean, the Rams, I think, will be fine for the season. I mean, this reminds me of when the Saints absolutely blew out the Packers last year and still went out to the NFC Championship. What were some of your initial thoughts there?
Yeah, I don't know. I think Diggs and Josh Allen are just gonna tear up the league. I could see Diggs being one of the top wide receivers in the league, but I don't know. Rams didn't do too great. I thought their defense would show up a little bit more. They did. I mean, what did they? They had a couple picks or one pick. But
most of them luck, I think, just based on.
For sure. But I don't know. Usually, defense shows up a little bit more towards the start of the season. Ooh, do we got Cody coming on?
Nope. Just change the settings a little bit to have both of us on, not just my ugly face.
We all wanted to see what Dalvin Cook's little brother James Cook was gonna do, and oh boy, did he drop the ball on that. First play fumbles, out benched for the game.
That honestly reminds me of Kareem Hunt a little bit, like when he first started for the Chiefs, like first or second play of his career, fumble, and then he turned out to be a monster. I'm not comparing James Cook to Kareem Hunt at this point, but
yeah, that game Kareem Hunt went off after that though.
Yeah. But I mean, just other takeaways from Bills Rams. I mean, Josh Allen was the leading rusher in that game for both teams with only 59 rushing yards. So
Singletary looked really good though when he got his opportunity at the beginning. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I thought he looked better than I was expecting. I thought he looked like a good runner. He caught the ball a couple times, I believe, and I don't know. I thought he looked like the best back there, but yeah, Josh Allen. His rushing yards killed it.
Yeah, Josh Allen is a fantasy monster. So if you paid up for him early in your draft, pretty good.
Oh yeah. Robinson, what do you got to say? Because I'll start going off.
That was one of the more wild things. Like he played 96% of snaps.
Yeah,
he got 2 targets.
Throw him the ball. But I don't know, Matt Stafford was just under pressure the entire game. That Bills D-line was destroying him. It was ridiculous.
7 sacks for the Bills.
I don't know. I say if you can, just bench him and wait and see. But actually, next week they're playing Atlanta. I'll probably play him.
I'll definitely play him. I mean, I think that he'll have a for real bounce back game against Atlanta. We don't expect. We'll see more today with the Falcons and what they can really do against a good team. But I do not believe that Allen Robinson, or I do believe that Allen Robinson will bounce back and have a pretty good season. Like everyone's going to drop him so fast, and I'm going to pick him up wherever.
Especially the people who drafted him last year and then believe the hype about this year. It's like,
me.
like me. 1.7 points or something right in the first game. That was tough, but I mean, he didn't get any targets. Another takeaway was we've been saying it all off season. We were really low on Cam Akers, and wow, did it show? He didn't turn out that game. What's up, Cody?
Yeah, we have Cody joining, our third co-host.
Oh,
and he's gone.
But takeaways from that. Henderson, he looked pretty beefy. He was the lead back the entire time. I don't know if that was just, I don't know. I drafted Darrell Henderson in a few leagues late because I wasn't sure about the situation, and I don't know. Cam Akers didn't look good rushing the ball either.
No. And his pass blocking, there's one clip that's gone semi-viral. He just made a business decision, did not get in front of a D tackle looking to get a pass block. But all right, now we have Cody joining. What's good?
Can you hear us, Cody? Oh, he's muted. Turn your volume.
Can't hear Cody right now.
Woo, woo, woo. Hello? Oh,
Good.
Gotcha.
I was a little nervous when you went with the barking. I have two dogs napping right next to me. If one of you does. All right, now we're at full post here.
Sorry, boys.
All good.
Hello?
Cody, just to wrap up Rams Bills, do you have any takeaways? We already talked about Robinson, Akers, how Josh Allen's a monster. Do you have any thoughts on Matt Stafford and the rest of the season, Cody?
Worried about his elbow. I don't know. I seen him mouth that I can't throw. I suck tonight, or if it's like a ongoing thing, we'll see. And the Bills are who we thought they were.
Yep.
They're looking sweet.
Yeah, by far the best team. I mean, they were hyped up a ton, and this year, last week, were they good? Like, they were incredible.
Diggs couldn't drop the ball,
Yeah.
And all that Gabe Davis hype over the offseason turned out because he looked phenomenal too.
I believed in some of it.
Yeah, and they orchestrated plays for Gabe Davis. It wasn't just, he's randomly open. They orchestrated plays for him when he was on the field. Like, that is incredible.
One thing to take away, we were all wondering about, there's a lot of Isaiah McKenzie hype. He looked good, but it did look like he was sharing the third wide receiver slot with Crowder, which I thought he was going to take it over, but I don't know. I think he had a little injury news last week, so we'll see how that turns out next week. But I thought he looked good too.
Yeah, I honestly think all three of the Bills wide receivers are legit fantasy football options.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
all right,
I really
Cody,
overthought Gabriel Davis. Yeah, overthought the whole Gabriel Davis thing. I mean, he's the number 2 receiver on the top 5. I wish I would have got some shares. Got him on one of my teams at least.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's gonna be really good.
Oh yeah,
for sure. So moving on, what's up? Just moving on here.
Oh, dude, I'm so excited. I'm just gonna sit on my couch all day long.
Yeah, same.
Oh, I am beyond excited. I'm making my really good wings recipe for the Packer game, going over to the parents' house with the fam. Just the most Wisconsin dinner, lunch that we got coming up with a bowl, like an entire thing of chili, mom's special recipe, of course, wings, every single other game day food.
I'm
going to be thick after this one.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be making it. We'll see.
All right, so now we're going to go into just last-minute news and notes, particularly with the injury status of different players. Let's start with the noon games. First off, you may be worried if you drafted him. J.K. Dobbins, it does look like he's inactive today.
Yep.
So monitor that. I hope if you listened to our show earlier this week that you actually picked up maybe one of their backups. Who is Mike Davis, I believe, at this point. Kenyon Drake.
But I think Mike Davis is the play this week because Kenyon Drake just got there, and I don't know. It's not a great play, but it's against the Jets. They're clobber them, so get a shot at a touchdown this week. That's who I play.
Other key inactives,
Yep.
we have officially that George Kittle will not be playing. He injured his groin earlier this week. Don't expect him to see any time today. Logan Thomas, who may be tight end for the Washington Commanders, is active, but we'll see what his usage is. You may want to wait till week 2. But if you're in a pinch with George Kittle being out, being rolled out today, I could see picking up Logan Thomas, or if you want a quick streamer, I know Hunter Henry is very much or is not owned by a lot of people in the fantasy football community, so that could be a great streamer. Cole Kmet is a great streamer this week if you need a guy. So maybe just look at that.
I also one of the
Bobby Tunyon.
Yep. And I was looking into some of the games that had high point totals, and I looked at Gerald Everett this week just as a throw, like a flyer. If you punt a tight end and it's going to be a high scoring game, I don't know. Mike Williams and Keenan Allen aren't going to get all the passes.
That's true. That's a good one.
No.
Looking at the New Orleans game now, so Michael Thomas will play. He has been ruled in. I'm sure that will be very, very cautious with him still, though. So, I mean, in my opinion, like Jarvis Landry, and we'll talk about DFS stuff later. Jarvis Landry, I think, is in line for a huge game this week.
So is Olave, I think.
And Olave, yeah. They have a great matchup against a bad Falcons defense. I think you have a really good shot to get some good points with Jarvis and Olave.
Oh man, I'm in a pinch right here. I'm up to starting Thomas or Elijah Moore, and I keep going back and forth. I was looking at Elijah Moore's stats with Joe Flacco. He scored like 3 touchdowns last year.
I would definitely go Elijah Moore in that situation.
Okay. I keep flipping back and forth on it, and because I'm scared about the Michael Thomas thing. I don't know whether to start him or wait and see, but.
Mm-hmm. I think the safer bet is definitely Elijah Moore there.
Yeah.
Some other guys, we have Ty Montgomery, running back for the New England Patriots. He will play, so keep that in mind for your Ramondre Stevenson. I don't expect Stevenson to lose a lot of work because of this, but there's that possibility. Traquan Smith is out, so again, another wide receiver for New Orleans. So when you're thinking about lining up Olave and Jarvis, that should give you some more comfort. Jacoby Myers, wide receiver for the Patriots, will play. I still think that some of the other options there are a little bit better, but I'm not playing any of them anyway.
He's a bench guy this week for sure.
Mm-hmm. Moving on to the 3:00 games, Rondale Moore, wide receiver for the Cardinals, is out, so he will not play. I think that gives even more credence to maybe a flex AJ Green if you're in a very desperate situation, or just your Marquise Brown.
For sure. I think AJ Green's in play this week. He's in play for a flex because last year he was always just a top flex guy. He could put up 10, 13, 15 points all the time, and this game's going to be a shootout.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're going to have to use him. Ertz was a little banged up, and I don't know. It looks like he's playing, but I don't know. AJ Green's a nice flex play this week, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. Zach Ertz is most likely, like you mentioned, going to play in this game, tight end for the Arizona Cardinals. Alan Lazard, what was that?
Was it a calf, right?
Yep, calf. Alan Lazard, wide receiver for the Packers, is very doubtful to play. I believe he has actually been ruled out for today.
Got ruled out, so.
Are you willing to make just like a glory play and play Sammy Watkins week 1, who is just always the unbelievable, like, nuclear games in the first week of the season?
I'm doing it on I would do it on DraftKings or FanDuel or stuff like that. I'm not doing that in my fantasy leagues, no. But I mean, you're welcome to, because he blows up every week 1. Go for it. If you really need to win your week 1, toss him in your flex.
Right. Moving on to the Sunday night game, we have Chris Godwin. He's still questionable. He's most likely going to play as of right now, but probably they'll be very cautious with him. I don't expect them to rush him back if they don't have to. So, and Russell Gage also questionable. He may play. The most reports say that he's most likely going to play, but I would consider Chris Godwin and Russell Gage as almost unstartable this week.
For sure. Yeah.
Mike Evans and Julio Jones. Like Mike Evans for sure, but Julio Jones could be another sneaky start.
Yeah, it's a sneaky flex play for sure, I think. That game's going to be high scoring. We saw it last year. That was the opener last year, and they shut down Zeke, and I think it was a high scoring game. I think it was like 30-28 or something like that.
Yeah, it was a really good game. I remember having to like stream it on my phone because I was at a concert at the time, but still had to watch the opening game. Can't miss that.
I think next time we tell Cody to get on this live stream, maybe he could sit next to some Wi-Fi.
Maybe participate a little bit.
Looked like he was running a marathon, and
he was pacing. That's for he was getting his steps in.
I couldn't hear a thing he was saying.
Yeah. Just to wrap up, injury news and notes, we have Michael Gallup also out for the Dallas Cowboys. He's been ruled out for a while. Jalen Tolbert could potentially Jalen Tolbert is actually most likely out as well. No, I'm reading that wrong. Jalen Tolbert is in, sorry.
Okay,
I don't expect you to be playing him this week 1. Hopefully you have other options to fill in your Michael Gallup.
One thing that just popped up for me, I saw that Tyler Algier, the new running back for Atlanta, he's healthy scratch this week. So, I mean, it's not a good matchup, but I don't know. I think Cordero Patterson is a flex play maybe. I mean, they're going to be down. They're going to have to pass to him. So, I like Cordero Patterson if you got him late in the flex or something like that.
Yeah, could definitely see that. Well, that's actually a good segue just to our DFS and Monkey Knife Fights picks. If you're not familiar, DFS, Daily Fantasy Sports, that refers to your DraftKings, your FanDuel, and then Monkey Knife Fight is actually a really cool app that Drew and I sometimes put some cash on. It basically just gives over-unders on player stats. So, for example, will Marcus Mariota have over 229.5 passing yards? You bet over/under, bet typically $2, and then there's usually a multiplier, and you can get some quick cash there.
Yeah, I was looking at Monkey Knife Fight today, and I don't know. I haven't done it in a long time, but I was looking at it, and I like to do the touchdown dances for the early slates. You can do 2.5 touchdowns or 3.5. I don't like to go over because that's hard to hit. But those two are so easy. You could just do for the early slates Jonathan Taylor, Kamara, and Christian McCaffrey, or Mark Andrews for 2.5 touchdowns. Like you're gonna this week. That's an easy win. Also, I saw in the late slates you could do Eckler, Kelsey, Adams. Those are guys I was looking at just because of the high scoring games. They're all going to be shootouts in that game. Like, I don't know. I like the early slate more, but the late slate, that's something I was looking at.
Yeah, I mean, I always go with the big, more, less ones. So like the times 20 times 40 multiplier because let's ball. I don't know. Let's ride.
Trying to get right.
For instance, with that Falcons Saints game, like I did more for Jameis Winston at 225, more for Marcus Mariota at 218.5, more for Kyle Pitts at 59.5, and so on and so forth. Like these lines are really good. Meaning like they're very hard to decide whether they're going to happen or not. But some sneaky like daily fantasy picks. I saw that Saquon Barkley is at like $6,100 right now, which is just unbelievably low for a guy of his talent.
Oh my gosh, they hyped him up all offseason. They're like he's going to be the weapon of the offense. I mean, I think the Titans are pretty stout at the D line, but yeah, that's really cheap. That's a steal for him.
And Michael Pittman, he's at 5,500 right now, and he's a guaranteed wide receiver 1, I think, this week.
Is that the DraftKings lines?
That's the DraftKings lines, yeah.
Okay, they're both a little bit up on FanDuel, I believe. I think like 6,800 for Saquon, but yeah, that's still a steal. I really like him this week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll just read off one of my lineups for DraftKings and what I did. I mean, QB Jalen Hurts, Saquon, Najee, Marquise Brown, Michael Pittman. Did a Marquez Valdez-Scantling as just a very big dart throw. See what happens there.
I wrote him down too.
Mm-hmm. Cole Kmet, who I think he's got to be the wide receiver 2 there.
For sure.
He was only 3,700. And then for that flex play at the end, I got a Joe Mixon.
Oh, beautiful. I think he wrecked up the Steelers last year, and
he had nuts games. Both games he went nuclear.
Yeah, Joe Mixon's a good play this week.
Mm-hmm. And then for a defense, went with the Carolina Panthers against the Browns. I do not expect the Browns to have a good week 1. Nick Chubb will have a good week 1, but other than that, I don't expect a lot of points.
Also, yeah, that game's just going to be a low-scoring game, so that's a good defensive play right there.
Yeah.
Keeper and, I don't know, was that middle-of-the-pack defense? Yeah, I didn't make any lineups this week, but I just wrote down flyers on people like Olave, Watkins week 1. Is hyped up week 1. Hey, Cody.
Hey, Cody, there he is.
Hey, what up, boys? Sorry about that. I'm here. Ignore that Bears thing behind me.
All good, all good.
Maybe you but you got anything to say?
I got a lot to say. Very lot to say. We're talking popular bets and stuff.
Yep.
I know Prize Picks has give me 0.5 over under for Tom Brady passing yards. That's a gimme for that.
I saw that.
I personally took Kyler Murray and Justin Fields over 1.5 touchdowns total. I think they'll do that. I had CeeDee Lamb for over 70, or actually less than 79.5 yards. I think they're going to hurt with their old line, and being Tampa's defense still good. That's all I really got for bets, though.
Okay.
Here's just an interesting one for you guys. I just found on Monkey Knife Fight. More passing yards, Trevor Lawrence going up against the Washington Commanders or Joe Burrow. But Lawrence has a plus 30.5 passing yards, like adder, if you will.
The Jags, who are they playing again?
The Commanders.
Washington, yeah. That's a hard one for me because we haven't seen Trevor Lawrence go bonkers yet. So I mean, he's got better receivers this year. Might be a good play.
And I mean, Doug Peterson still won a Super Bowl too with Nick Foles. I think people are underestimating that a little bit.
Yeah. And then another one that I saw in here, and we can wrap up here because we are coming at time. Jonathan Taylor or Nick Chubb, more rushing yards, but Nick Chubb has a 26.5 edition.
Jonathan Taylor goes nuclear against Houston. I think the past two times he played him, I think he put up a $143, a $144.
Wow.
I mean, so, and if Kareem Hunt's in there, I don't know. I like Nick Chubb this week for sure, but I don't know if he's going to get to 143.
Right.
We'll see.
All right. Well, just put her in, locked and loaded.
All righty.
All right. Anything else from you guys before we wrap up here?
I got a question for you guys. Favorite game other than the Packers game you guys are looking forward to today?
Oh man, I want to see what Justin Herbert and Raiders Chargers game. I really want to see. There's new toys and they're both looking good this year. That's going to be a blast of a game to watch.
Yeah, same.
I'm really excited for the Patriots Dolphins game. One of the noon slate games.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be very telling to see what Miami does with their pass game, which I think has a lot of questions. Like, can Tua supply Tyreek Hill? Can he supply Jalen Waddle? Like, can he do that against a Patriots defense, that's pretty formidable. And then also, I mean, the Patriots offense,
Yeah.
it looks horrendous as of right now. All reports say that's not good at all. So interesting to see there and see what they do with that backfield a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and apparently Matt Patricia is calling plays for the Patriots, so that'll also be hilarious.
Oh, that'll be great.
Wow, I did not expect that.
Yeah, I think that came out a little bit like 20 minutes ago or something.
Nice.
Yeah. And then Kansas City versus Arizona, that is going to be a good game too.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a big measuring stick for the Chiefs because I'm kind of down on them this year. We'll see how they fare. I actually have the Cardinals winning in my pick'em.
Oh man,
I could see that for sure.
I mean, yeah, Cardinals went off last year. Week 1 through 8 or 9 or something.
And then they ran into the buzzsaw known as the Green Bay Packers.
Rasul Dog.
Go Pack, go. Let's go. Well, that's going to do it for our quick live here. Again, we are the Draft Day Preppers. We release episodes every Tuesday morning to get you ready for your fantasy football week. Hope you guys, you can find us on all social medias as well. You can find us on Twitter at Draft Preppers. You can find us then on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok at Draft Day Preppers. Hope you all have a amazing week 1. Hope you're again just in the same situation as us, sitting on your couch, eating an ungodly amount of food, and I'm about to go make me a Bloody Mary.
Ooh.
Just because that's how I start every single fantasy football or football week. But until next time, we will see you all later.
Peace.